It's another John Wick movie. I don't have to say another damn thing.
Yeah, you actually do have to say more than that.
So, John Wick Chapter 2. The John Wick franchise is based on Keanu Reeves having a really specific pop cultural presence that lends itself really well to elaborately choreographed, slickly photographed gunfight sequences, and not a whole lot else. The original film used the original enough premise of the unstoppable action hero badass being out to avenge the death of his dog as the attention-grabbing jumping-off point, and with attentions now suitably grabbed, the sequel doesn't even bother to try and outdo that aspect. This isn't about plot or character, it's about mood, aesthetic, and being the best action movie of the 1990s made in the 2010s. But if you somehow do require a refresher, okay, Keanu Reeves is John Wick, a former professional assassin regarded as the best who ever lived at his vocation, so feared and respected that he had been permitted the peaceful civilian retirement generally considered to be impossible within his world. But when the son of a Russian crime boss kills his dog during a home invasion robbery, Wick pulls his weapons and membership in the surprisingly well-organized assassination community out of storage and, well, he killed everybody. Everybody. That was pretty much the first movie. John Wick Chapter 2 essentially picks up in the immediate aftermath of all that, as John Wick is now informed that having forsaken his retirement means it's now once again possible for an old associate to call in a blood oath favor that Wick owes him, which turns out to mean traveling to Rome to kill his rival for their family's seat on the ruling council that controls international organized crime in the John Wick cinematic universe. Unfortunately, once the deed is done and said associate attempts to cover his tracks, he puts a contract on Wick himself that effectively activates every other hitman on the planet to come gunning for him. Thus we have our sequel, John Wick versus all of the other John Wicks. Now, there's always a danger in doing a sequel to a movie where the whole point of the fun was that the hero was an unstoppable killing machine who no one ever had a chance against, since you have to find a way to raise the stakes and thus run the risk of making the hero look like he's not all that unstoppable after all. Now, fortunately, Keanu Reeves is a really good physical actor, and in both films he makes sure to put a unique spin on the way Wick moves and fights, where even though we totally believe that he's capable of doing all the stunts and gunfights and everything else, it also looks like it's realistically exhausting the shit out of him. So piling more and more killers who can really only slow him down a little really is all the escalation a sequel ever needed. But is it as good as the first one? Well, probably, yeah. The truth is that part of the reason the first John Wick blew everybody's fucking brains out back in 2014 was nobody saw it coming. Keanu hadn't made a lot of noise about it, the directors were mainly known as stuntmen, and the whole thing was put together on the cheap as kind of a side project for everybody involved. So when it started rolling out on the festival circuit, everyone was like, whoa, where the fuck did this come from? So while Chapter 2 may end up being overall a better movie, no, it can't replicate that feeling in discovery and unexpectedness that the original brought with it implicitly. Now that being said, yes, it does kick a tremendous amount of ass. The gunfights are exceptional, the hand-to-hand combat is extraordinary, and they even find ways to make a fucking car chase feel exciting. I'm not fully certain if there's a single scene to rival the eye-popping badassery of that extended nightclub shootout in the original, but they've come up with some decidedly impressive new places to take things. We finally find out why everyone was afraid to let John Wick near a pencil, for one thing, and an audacious sequence where Wick and a rival killer played by Common covertly fire at each other with silencers while walking quietly through a crowded museum is a serious winner. The supporting cast also acquits itself nicely, particularly returning Ian McShane, the aforementioned Common, and Franco Nero, no, seriously, Franco fucking Nero for real, as McShane's Italian counterpart, and Lawrence Fishburne as a kind of homeless union leader wise man. It's also nice to see Ruby Rose turn up as a mute rival assassin, and there's a welcome cameo from the ever-agreeable John Leguizamo. But make no mistake, this is Keanu's show, a stunning rebuke to anyone who ever thought he might be over as an action hero or ever doubted his skill as an on-screen presence otherwise. 3.5 stars, John Wick Chapter 2 is as good as movies like this get, go fucking see it.